never easy letting go. And I swear to God, this doesn't mean a thing to me. Forget the pain and suffering, 'cause when we're gone, this won't mean a thing. When you lay awake and dwell on all your past mistakes, forget 'cause this means nothing. It doesn't matter where it all went wrong, 'cause at the end of the day, you don't have enough time to waste. When we look back into the past, we see where it fell apart. Do you remember way back when, before it all went wrong? Believe me, I know it's never easy letting go. And I swear to God, this doesn't mean a thing to me.
Hello and welcome to the Goat Cave. Today we've got a very, very, very special guest, or maybe two guests actually, and that would be Fairway Drive. But before we get into our little podcast interview here, we're going to do a couple of updates for the podcast. So we got Nathan Vandenberg's episode. That was dope. That was the last one that I did. Nate is an absolute shredder on a bike. He has like all these crazy fucking clips that he's done. Definitely go watch that if you're interested in BMX stuff. And for Sunday, I'm going to have Montana Ricky, who's an absolute legend in the BMX world, come on. I'm super excited for that. We're going to talk about pretty much all things BMX, so join us with that. December 7th, Chris Brown from Burlington will be here to chat about photography and BMX and skateboarding. And December 15th, the dudes from Ride and Ramp Co. will be here to talk about building ramp setups for the best riders in the world. We're just about to hop into our interview, but first we're going to play It's Not Easy by Fairway Drive. None of that. There you go.
Should I go grab the CDs?
Yep. Yeah, you can do that.
I'll try to be fast.
I never thought
Alrighty, and we're back. We've got Fairway Drive here today. So let's just about jump into this. So today's guests are an up and coming band from the area. They released their EP Countless Days earlier this year, which I've got to say gets better and better with each listen. I'm super excited to have Fairway Drive with us here today. How was the show last night, boys? It was a good show?
Yeah.
It was pretty good, yeah.
That's awesome. You want to hold the mic just a little bit closer?
All right, there we go.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I guess we'll just jump into this. How did you guys become a thing? Like, where did you guys all meet?
I'll take this one. So we met at school. All of us were from school, and there's this thing we do. It's in our school. It's we do it once a month at the end of each Friday, and it's called a coffee house. And so it's just an acoustic session, and it just all the students go to it and they perform, show their talent. And so one coffee house, I believe 2 years ago, I was in grade 10, you were in grade 11. We decided to form a group. It was an unnamed group at the time.
We were called New Direction.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And just from there on, it just went on.
Yeah, so you guys like started basically through school. Were you guys kind of more of like a cover band at the beginning?
Oh,
or?
definitely covered.
Yeah.
It took us about a year to get into writing actual own material.
Our first actual show, like they had a drama festival at our school, and they asked us if we would play at it. And then that was all covers too. And then over time we started doing more and more original stuff.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I noticed like when I went and saw you guys a while back, you guys had played Seven Nation Army from the White Stripes.
Yeah.
That's such a good song.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's a really good one that a lot of people know. And like, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to learn. Like if you guys already have the skills, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that was the one where we switched all the instruments.
Yeah, I know. It was so cool. I'm like, that's fucking sick. So yeah, you guys have definitely got some talent, which is awesome.
Thanks, man.
How did each of you get into music?
You want to go first?
Okay. So when I was like, when did I get into music? Okay. When I was really young, my parents actually bought the album American Idiot by Green Day.
Nice.
And like, I had never heard anything like that before, and I remember like that stuck out to me a lot, and I really liked it. And then I think my brother got an iPod a couple years later, and like my cousin downloaded a bunch of music, and like she got him The Offspring and like Blink-182 and a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, so then I'd steal his iPod and listen to music on that too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that like music is one of those things that some people get into it like in like the weirdest way. Like myself personally, I am just not a fan of pretty much anything that's played on the radio. I like to find stuff and I like to, like have to look for it. But with that being said, there is definitely like, Green Day is incredible. Like all of these bigger like rock or like punk bands are awesome in my mind still. I think it really just depends, right? So how did you get into music?
Right. So similar to Mitchell, like I started listening to like the kind of genre that I loved, which is rock, and like it sort of veered off to pop punk later. Yeah. But I've always wanted to learn an instrument, and so when I think I was 9, my mom was like, "Okay, you're going to play the piano," and then my stepdad's like, "No. He wants to get the ladies, so he's going to play the guitar."
There you go.
Yeah.
Has that worked out for you or what?
Oh, definitely.
There you go. All right, kids, you want to get some ladies? Learn the guitar.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
I made the mistake of learning drums.
Yeah. Nobody sees you. They're just like, he's some guy in the back. Luckily, you're tall, so at least you can like get a little bit of that height advantage. So
at least you're not like 4 foot tall playing the drums.
Yeah, exactly. So how long did it take you guys to record Countless Days?
Oh, man,
Which
wow.
before we jump into this, I gotta say I really love the like packaging on this, man. Like you guys did a really good job on the actual like production side of things. So like the cover is really cool. I like that, and then the back is that like did you guys take that photo or did you guys find it?
Yeah,
nice.
we did take that photo.
It's by the river in Stratford.
That's awesome. Yeah. Here, I'll just try and hold that up for you guys. So that would be the cover there, and then this is the backside. If you can see it, it's pretty dark, but yeah, it's awesome. There you go. So yeah, how long did it take you guys to record that?
About a year.
Well, like when it started, I was just doing one single. Like we
Yeah.
had one song, It's Not Easy, and we just recorded it like
Yeah.
because we wanted to like release something, and then like we just kept getting more ideas. So like we didn't do any recording for like
Yeah.
a couple months.
Right.
After
I
It's
would
Not
think,
Easy.
I would think 6 months to put it all together.
Yeah.
Six sounds fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty reasonable time frame to come up with, a bunch of other music and record it and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really good, I'd think. Let's see here. Yeah, how long, like, each song, how long do you think it took you guys to write, realistically? Like, would you spend, like, a lot longer on one song? Because obviously certain things will come to you better than others.
Right.
So,
Yeah, like it's weird. Sometimes it comes super easy. Like, okay, I don't think most people do this, but I live on a farm and like 90% of the stuff I wrote was written while working just because like
yeah,
you
exactly.
have time to think.
Milking cows, right?
Milking cows, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was like usually I would like I'd come up with like a chorus at one point and then like a couple days later like a verse would come to me or stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
yeah, there were some that like there were some that took like
A lot longer.
less than a week, and then some that like
Month or so.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you that like just doing that kind of stuff while you're at work is actually kind of interesting because I do it all the time. Like
You
I
have
will
so
just
much
be
time to
sitting there
think,
and just
right?
come up with ideas and then I'll have to run to the back and like just type it into my phone super quick. I'm always like doing like 3 words and I'm like, yeah, I'll remember it later. I get home, like I have no idea what the fuck this is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes me like so long to figure it out, but
Yeah.
Well, I had one time a couple weeks ago, like I was like just lying in bed about to go to sleep, and then I got an idea for something, and then I'm like shit, I gotta go write this down or I know I'll forget it. And then,
Yeah.
like, I got out of bed and then that happened like 3 times because I kept getting another idea. I'm like, why is this happening right now?
yeah, I think the best thing to do is just put like just a notebook or something next to your bed and
Yeah.
then like with a pen. For myself, I have fucking terrible writing, so I just
too.
like
That's
leave
why
my
I do
phone
it on
right
my
next to my
phones.
bed.
Audio.
Yeah.
Audio, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Especially with audio because you can kind of explain it a little bit better, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, because I forget melodies a lot of the time. Like,
Just
or
hum a melody. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, like I'll write it down in my notes and I'm like, how did that go again?
right.
It usually comes back though.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have been playing a lot of shows this year. You guys got any cool stories about them? Maybe tell us a little bit like about each show that you guys played at or kind of the different areas that you guys have played in the last year or so.
I have a funny story from last night.
Yeah.
Okay, so literally we were opening with Dead and Gone. That was the second one they
Yep.
played on tonight. But so I have like a double kick pedal, right? And I had it all set up, and like there was an acoustic act before us. So
Yeah.
they went, and then like usually they give 15 minutes between, but since it was an acoustic act, like they said, get all your stuff set up beforehand. So I did, and then like we started off like couple minutes after them, and I had my kick pedal set up, but I forgot to tighten one of the things, so literally right away in the song it just flew off,
Oh fuck.
and I had to play our entire first song with just my left foot.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Turned out well. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't
Could have
notice.
gone worse.
Could have
yeah.
gone worse. You couldn't have had two pedals. That would've
But
been
honestly,
awesome.
Yeah.
Then like it's one of not necessarily slower, but like it'd be a slower BPM than something like way back when, which we usually open with. And if we had done it the other way around, I would have been screwed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we got really lucky.
That's awesome though. Like especially to be able to kind of adapt behind that as well, right? So
Yeah.
That
yeah,
was, like,
any
the
other
stress-
shows that you guys have played recently?
Not.
It's actually been slowing down a bit more.
It's
like,
been
we
slowing
had a
down.
lot in the summer, but yeah, we did one mid-September, and then yeah, we had a month or two break.
My most memorable, definitely, though, was in the summer. We played the shoot, what was it called?
Joel Stock?
Joel Stock, right?
Nice.
That was a huge stage out in the fields, and a whole bunch of bands played, and just the bands and the everybody they were sick, like, and then we got to stay the night there,
Nice.
and we
It's a
partied
band,
hard.
95 proof, and like they literally put it on all by themselves. It's on their property, but it's a really sweet event. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool though. Like just being able to do that kind of stuff is like really forms a community. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you guys are good friends with the band Illicit and
Yeah.
like
Right.
everybody like that. And I think just being able to play like different shows with people would definitely be really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like Harmony Lunch is one of the best venues for that because
Yeah.
anybody plays there. Like
Yeah.
you can go there like every Thursday and there'll be some sort of new bands playing. It's always a really, really small crowd that actually shows up, but like it's kind of cool just to be able to go in and see people that are like just, you know, having fun, doing what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you guys say your favorite venue to play at is then?
Definitely Joel Stock for me.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, yeah. I like Harmony Lunch a lot too. Like I've never had a show there where I was like, oh, that like I always have fun when we play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one to actually be able to go to, right? Like it's
Right.
kind of a smaller setup, but it's in town. It's different, like scenery for you guys.
Yeah.
So
Club NV in Brantford's a really cool spot too, but like it's huge, so it's tough to fill. Like you can
Yeah.
have like a crowd that would be like absolutely packed at Harmony Lunch. It looks like empty there.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool spot. I'm pretty sure they have Blackout Fest there.
yeah, I think that Illicit played there.
Oh, yeah?
So here's kind of an interesting story. When I went to go to Blackout Fest with like just to go see Illicit, my buddies and I go there with my girlfriend. We're like walking down the street in Brantford, and if anybody like doesn't really know much about Brantford, it's fucking sketchy downtown.
Right.
So we're like walking down the street, we pass this fucking place, and they've taken masking tape and made it look like a weed leaf on the front door of their business or whatever. So like, what the fuck? But there's like curtains in the windows so you can't see in. Like the whole thing is like blacked out so you cannot see in. Just that one like fucking weird looking thing. So you
Man.
like, we go there and my buddy is like, I guarantee that's a fucking weed store. I know they sell weed there. I'm like, well, we're not fucking going there. That's so sketchy. We like walk down the street, go and watch them. We come back and he's like, all right, we're fucking doing it. And he like opens the door and the whole fucking place, like just a bunch of smoke comes out. I'm like, what the hell? Like there's nobody in the fucking front room at all. And then he ends up like buying this fucking weed off this really sketchy dude. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? We like walked out. It's like, oh my god, that was the fucking weirdest thing ever. I don't know why, but I'm like, that story is just so funny to me.
Yeah.
So
When we played in Brantford, there was a one band, they played a cover of a Remo Drive song. We were all super hyped up and we were like moshing with 4 people.
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome.
And then Zach's sandal broke. So he was like walking around barefoot, and the one guy that like was like letting everyone, and he's like, hey, better be careful for needles.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
man, that fucking city is so sketchy.
Yeah.
It's like so weird.
Sick venue though.
Yeah, it's a great place to play, right? What kind of stuff do you guys listen to?
Mostly what we sound like. So like rock, pop punk for me.
Yeah.
I generally stay around there, but I'll listen to anything.
I used to like exclusively listen to pop punk, but
Yeah.
like I try to find a lot more experimental stuff. Like Turnover's a really good band.
For sure.
They're really experimental, yeah, stuff like that. I'll listen to anything really. I
Yeah.
try to listen to more stuff now, but
Yeah, pop punk is really cool though. There's a band called Rufio that you guys should check out if you haven't heard of them. They're
Right.
like, there's an album, I think it's called Perhaps and then comma I suppose, and that was early 2000s that was released, and it's really, really good, man. I really like that album. They're a really good example of like pop punk music. Who are a couple other bands? I'm so fucking losing it on this one. But yeah, no, pop punk music's really sick. I love it. So
well, a lot of bands like they'll start out as that, and then like they slowly start experimenting more
Yeah.
and more and more.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
The band I mentioned earlier, Turnover, their first EP is like straight up pop punk, and then like their other one, Peripheral Vision's like dream pop, and it's really good. Yeah,
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of the band Bearings?
I have heard of them. Yeah.
Would you classify them as pop punk, do you think? I don't think they are. I just can't tell, man. I don't
Like-
listen to them that often, though. So.
Yeah, I have a couple of their songs on my phone, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they're good though. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. It's definitely like, I feel like they're more punk than anything, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you mentioned like pop punk stuff as well.
Right.
So yeah.
What music do you listen to?
Typically like ska punk, hip hop, punk music, like metal, stuff like that. So
Sweet.
nothing like crazy. I'm really not a fan of rap. Like I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there's a difference between hip hop and rap. Like
Yeah,
I
there is.
love MF Doom, and he's more of like a hip hop artist, whereas like I don't know, Wu-Tang would be like straight up rap. I'm just not that big of a fan. I can't even like really say that though, because I just picked up an album last week that's a Wu-Tang album,
Oh,
but
yeah?
still.
I was talking to my roommate a couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure he actually said that's his favorite rapper.
Yeah, MF Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible, man. Doom is like next level fucking awesome. He's so interesting. I don't know if you guys know anything about him.
I just heard of him like this week, but yeah. I
Yeah,
gotta check
you
him
should
out.
really check it out. His album Food is incredible.
Food.
Yeah, it's the guy is like really interesting with the way that he does things. So he has like 12 different personas that he does. So he's got like a full length album with each one. Like Doom is his like main one, but then he does work as Victor Vaughn and then work as King Ghidra and like all these other weird ones that you've just never really heard of.
Yeah.
But each one is like so good. And actually in Space Goats, I had an MF Doom song for one person's video part. So that was like, I've got a huge thing for him as well. We even did like a little animation thing where I took like words that he said in an interview and basically cut and paste them to make a sentence, and then like had a goat with his like mask that he always wears,
Right.
and like kind of made him talk. It was really, really cool. I'll have to show it to you guys afterwards.
Yeah, it sounds sick.
Yeah. So if you guys had to name off 3 of your favorite artists or bands, what would those be? We'll start with you.
This is literally like the most generic, stereotypical pop punk kid answer, but like I've always like had a soft spot for Green Day just because like I said earlier, they were like the first band I really discovered.
Oh, of course.
Blink.
Yeah, Blink's a good one. Travis Barker is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's amazing. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
his idol, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
kind of.
definitely. Little history about Travis Barker. So there's this ska band called the Aquabats.
Yeah, I actually read his book
Yeah.
a while ago.
So they like the Aquabats are incredible. I love them.
They wear all like costumes and stuff too, right?
Yeah, so I have this little Lego guy. I bought 2 of these. There's 500 made, and I managed to pick up 2 of them. But that's the MC Bat Commander. And Travis Barker used to play drums for the Aquabats,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
like for their first album, is like insane. So the Fury of the Aquabats, Travis plays drums on all of it, and like a lot of the songs you can really tell that it's him just because of the way that he's
He has
playing.
like a real signature
Yeah,
style.
he does a lot of stuff with like the snare drum, right?
Yeah.
So like it's really cool when you hear the stuff that he was doing. He's insane.
And like also he'll use like his cymbals at, like in a fill he'll use his
Yeah.
cymbals as like a tom or stuff like
Oh,
that,
of
yeah.
course. Here's the little Lego guy. I know I can't even get up there right now, but he's super cool. So
Yeah, in Travis's book that I read a while ago, like he talks about like the Aquabats were actually on tour with Blink, I think, right? And then
Yep.
and then their drummer Scott Rayner, he went home for something and then like he learned their set in like 25 minutes.
yeah,
But like when he told the Aquabats that like he was quitting and he was gonna join Blink, they're like, "What are you doing? Those guys are posers."
yeah, it's so funny too because like in the like I collect vinyl, so I actually have their album, like their first album on vinyl, and in it it's like even though some of us went on to have real fame and riches, we're still here and like all this stuff. It's so funny.
Super passive aggressive.
Well, no, they all like they love each other for sure. You know, like Christian Jacobs, aka MC Bat Commander, he always talks about him like, and, you know, he loves him. Like they're all good friends, so it's really cool. Little trivia for you: the Aquabats actually created the show Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So like the MC Bat Commander, he made that, and they have their own show. And then they do like stuff on YouTube as well.
Right.
I always check it out. It's always hilarious. You know, it's like nice kid friendly content, but it's still hilarious for some reason. So, So yeah, you said Blink-182, Green Day, and then who else?
Again, a super generic answer, but probably like Sum 41 or something.
That's
like
fair. Yeah, they're kind of like, the most iconic that people really, really know about. And there's a
Yeah.
reason for that,
There's
you know?
a reason, yeah.
So, and then for
Mine's
yourself.
going to sound really similar. Me and him have the same taste.
Yeah.
So mine's Green Day and also Blink-182. But
fair.
it takes a turn, and it's probably going to be Foo Fighters on third.
That's awesome. Yeah, those guys are all very, very good. So,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome choices.
They put on a killer live show too.
They
Foo
do.
Fighters.
Yeah.
I've seen them
Fighters are
twice
amazing.
now.
So here's a different question. What is your favorite way to listen to music? Do you guys just prefer to do it while you're in the car, or do you guys just throw headphones in? Do you guys collect vinyl like myself? I find personally vinyl is my favorite because you've got the huge, artwork and everything. I love being able to kind of look at all of it and
Right,
really
yeah.
appreciate it. And then also just, I'm kind of a collector with it.
Yeah.
I've been picking up like double copies of stuff just to have like,
One in
one color.
plastic.
Yeah. One like blue, one pink, like just really depending. And then we'll start out with you this time, actually.
All right. Definitely just like by phone and like headphones. That's my only really
Like
option.
through Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, whatever's there.
It's kind of nice though, because you can really just get into it, Like
Yeah.
it's
You
really
can
just
listen to
going
anything.
with
Just really
you.
start vibing.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
I love Spotify for that because they constantly are like, making you new stuff to find new music. I
Yeah.
think they're like the best way to find new music. But yeah, so you were saying Spotify or just through your phone?
I really like the concept of vinyl art. Although I haven't got any real actual vinyl at home, just because I wouldn't actually listen to it like from the vinyl. I don't have a
Yeah,
way
you
to
need a
listen to
record
it. Yeah,
player.
I don't
It's-
have a record player. It's just
It's a lot of money to actually get started into
yeah.
it, right?
I
Like,
would collect vinyl just to like be a collector. Like I would definitely
Yeah.
do that.
Well, they cost like between like 30 and $50, don't they? Or something
It depends. So I pick up a lot of stuff from like smaller record labels that I
Okay.
really like, and a lot of the stuff is like $20 US and then shipping and everything. It's definitely pretty pricey. Like I just started just about a year ago collecting, and I've probably spent close to like 3-4 grand just on records and
damn.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I work every day, right? I got to be
Yeah.
able to do something. Like my main thing is that every 2 weeks when I'd get paid Friday, I would go out and buy myself 2 albums. That's
Yeah.
kind of my reward, like, but yeah, it can definitely get really fucking pricey and just like, it takes up a lot of space too, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially for you guys, if you guys are living at home, it's so difficult to have that space set
A space to
aside
put all
just
your
for
vinyls,
it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then also like, it's just a lot of money and everything as well.
yeah,
So
it is.
yeah. For yourself, what do you think then?
Well, like the main way I listen to music would be like Apple Music.
Yeah.
Just because like it's so easy. Like you can, if you hear about a new band, like I can literally look them up instantly.
Right away, right?
and
Because
have it,
everybody uses it. Like most people use it, and it's pretty easy to get your stuff on there. Like it's not as easy as just making an account and then uploading it. You do have to do a little bit of running around to get it, but it's not a pain, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to buy CDs quite a bit too, but like
yeah.
everything is closing.
I
Like,
know it's really hard, man. The best way to be able to do it is just buy like tickets to a show and then buy
Yeah, and
merch
get their
there because
CDs
that
there,
really
yeah.
does support the
Yeah,
band, you
it
know?
does.
Like I'm sure you guys spent a decent amount just getting these made. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like literally the only place to get CDs in Stratford is Walmart right now, and your chances of finding anything good
Yeah.
there is like 1 in 10.
Yeah, you got to order a lot of it online. That's the
Uh-huh.
best way to do it. Like I order all my stuff online for the most part. Or I go to Orange Monkey, which is just another like vinyl store.
Okay.
But yeah, they're really cool. They're in Waterloo. But yeah. So yeah, you guys are both said like kind of streaming services is the best
Yeah.
way for you
This
guys.
is extremely convenient, I think.
In the age before streaming services, I used to go to the library in our hometown and get CDs and then like pirate them onto my computer. And
Well, that was the thing, man. Like a lot of people before you had streaming services, you kind of had to steal a lot of your music
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really like
I
listen
didn't know
to
how
it.
to do it online, so I stole CDs
Yeah.
from the library.
Oh man, you'll give your fucking computer aids with like the software that you'd be using. Like it'd be so bad for it.
Mhm.
So here's kind of a deeper question about your guys' music. Now, can you explain to us what some of the music you guys have made is about?
Okay. So Time and Distance. which is a song you're going to hear later on in the show.
It'll be the last song on the podcast tonight.
Yeah. So that one's actually a little personal. It's about a girl. It's the song's about a long distance relationship, and it's about it not really working out anymore, and long distance relationships are hard. And
for sure.
Yeah, and like if you'll listen to it later, you can hear the struggles that happen in it. Like you're 1,000 miles away from somebody. It's like you're always in your mind, but you can't get them out at the same time.
Yeah, and like I can definitely appreciate that because I've been in a couple of them myself, and it's not the same as just sitting there on a phone call or even on FaceTime. It's really not the same as like just being there with that person. But yeah, I think that's a really good example for that song.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe explain a different song, what it could mean? I mean, I'm pretty sure you would write most of the lyrics, right?
Actually, it's quite the opposite.
Wow, that's awesome then.
I'm probably the one drummer that has written a song. Well, no, that's not true. But
him and I, we're the two like lyric writers in the song, in the band for sure. Him more over than I.
Yeah.
But we do collaborate a lot to make the songs the best they can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, on like the first EP, like it would be like one of us writes a song and then shows it to everybody. But recently, it's been more like, one of us will come with a song that's like half made, and then we all contribute a lot more.
Yeah.
Which I find is a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody gets to say in what they want to do.
Well, exactly.
It's not already made; they just have to play it.
Well,
I think the best. Sorry. No, I think you guys are definitely onto that because when you can really get everybody involved, it really does change the sound. I feel like if people aren't that stoked on it, but they're just going to do it anyways, it can really take back. Whereas if they just went into it with a positive attitude, they could really make it something else.
Well, like Liam mentioned earlier, our song "Time and Distance," like it like you wrote it and then like we kind of worked together and like we made some changes and that's honestly the one that most people have been gravitating towards. So
it's definitely our fan base loves that song the most, I would say.
I really love Time and Distance. It's a really good song, man. I think it really comes from the heart as well, which is really cool. One of my favorite songs though is Way Back When. Just the way that you guys start off the album is such a good way to start, with the first, like, I don't know. It's just such a good way to really get into something. I love it. So.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought when I wrote it too. Like it was made to be an opener kind of.
Yeah.
We definitely needed
I
one.
had that in mind when I was doing it,
For sure. So when it comes to actually setting up the order of the songs and the way that they're going to play out, who had more say in that?
In like the order of the EP?
Yeah. Because that is a big thing that a lot of people don't focus on. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, it's
a big thing that a lot of people don't focus on and that they don't really hear unless they do actually listen to an entire album from start to finish.
Yeah.
We all kind of agreed on it. Like we put Way Back When first just because like
that was
we all thought it was a good way to start off the EP. And then like Time and Distance was kind of written to be a closer too. Like there's like a minute and a half long build up in it.
Yeah.
That we thought would be kind of cool for the end of an album.
Yeah, I really like it. I think that that's a good one to kind of end things off with.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a single. It's Not Easy. We initially posted that as a single.
Yeah.
So we thought it'd be beneficial to put it in the middle of the album.
Right.
Keep people interested.
Yeah, keep people interested. Be like, hey, I've listened to that before.
Yeah. It's a good bathroom break song.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right after that, we got an acoustic.
Yeah.
Wasting Time, actually, we originally had the 5 songs, and then we got an acoustic. You came up with the acoustic song later.
We thought, hey, we need a 6, so I was like, okay, let's just shove this puppy in here.
We thought it sounded good in the middle, too.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess we'll actually go and play Wasting Time, and then we'll get into the rest of this interview. Thank you guys for tuning in so far, and you guys are killing it. So, we'll jump into this. This is Wasting Time by Fairway Drive.
wasted time we spent together. And I think I might be in too deep, clinging on to something that you won't keep. Or is that just me? And I still wonder how it all went wrong. And what you said to me, am I wasting time? 'Cause I don't know why these words I say, they aren't getting through to you. No matter how hard I tried, you said you made your mind. Now it's time to say goodbye, 'cause you're sick and tired of wasting your time. And I guess I'm feeling overwhelmed. Used to be happy, now I can't tell. I can't define it, can't describe it, but it's like everything I gave you took and threw it all away, like it was nothing at all. Oh, do you remember where it all went down? And what I said to you, am I wasting time? 'Cause I don't know why these words I say, they aren't getting through to you. No matter how hard I tried, you said you made your mind. Now it's time to say goodbye, 'cause I'm sick and tired of wasting your time. It's over, but I moved on long, long ago. And I'm starting to know that I wasted time, and I don't know why the words said never got through to you. No matter how hard I tried, you said your feelings died. Now it's time to say goodbye, 'cause I'm sick and tired of wasting my time. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of wasting my time. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of wasting my time.
Alrighty, and we're back after that short break. That was Wasting Time by our guest today, Countless Day. Wait, what? From the EP Countless Days from Fairway Drive. There we go. Yeah, so while we were on the break there, I just opened a copy here, and I kind of wanted to show off the actual inside of this. So here, I'll kind of... So you can see that... they did a really good job with this, guys. Did you guys spend a lot of money to actually get this produced? Like for myself, I spent close to $500 just getting like 75
I
DVDs.
think ours were like 700
Yeah.
shipping.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah.
And then we'll take the disc out there. You can see a little photo on the back. Yeah, I really like the way you guys did this. I think that with the kind of like cardboard copy here instead of like the full plastic crystal
The
case.
jewel cases,
Yeah, the jewel cases are nice, but like they break really easily.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, like, yeah, the corners might get bent, but I kind of like this a little bit more, right? Like
Yeah.
you've actually got the touch and the feel of it.
Jewel cases are expensive too.
Yeah,
we didn't
they're
have the
fucking
money to do
pricey.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Alrighty, so so here's something to kind of jump into. I like doing this segment. I did it with Illicit. Let's see here. What bands or artists do you feel are overrated or don't quite live up to the hype? It's kind of a weird
Wow.
one because you never want to talk bad about other musicians, and we're
Yeah.
definitely not talking bad about any of them. I think it's just an important question to ask to really see, like, you know, like what you guys aren't really into, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Take
It's a
time.
hard one, yeah.
You got anything?
Honestly, and I'm probably gonna get ripped on for this, but I'm not a big fan of like trap or rap, like trap or the new kind of rap music that you listen
I can
to.
absolutely agree with
So
you, man.
like
I'm just
I know
not a fan.
I know all of the high school students that I coexist with in the high school. They that's all they listen to. They listen to that. They listen to another thing is country. I feel like country's super overrated. That's all they listen to. I never hear anybody listen to rock anymore in our school. And if I do, I'm like, wow, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's really strange, eh? Like the music has really changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
When I was in school, EDM was a really, really big thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids were listening to that stuff. And like I can appreciate some of it, but if you guys know how EDM music is made or how it's actually used, it really kind of breaks it down and you're like, oh, what the hell? Because pretty much all EDM songs start out with an actual like the same kind of beat just so that people can line it up when they're actually like DJing.
Yeah.
So they'll line it up and then it plays for about the same amount of time. So each song about 50 to 60 seconds in will be the actual drop of the song.
Oh wow.
So it's like all of them are pretty much the same. Like I guarantee if you pulled up 10 songs right now that are EDM songs, you could see that they're
Drops in the
all the
exact
same.
same
The
spot.
drops in the exact same spot. They always build up the same way.
Yeah.
It's always the same like tempo. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of different. Whereas in normal music, you try and make it different from other stuff, I guess. Like I
Yeah.
mean, most songs have a chorus that repeats itself throughout the music,
Mhm.
but I think it's still, I don't know. I feel like EDM music needs to kind of change a little bit to actually live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been deep in thought for the past like minute, and I don't know if people are gonna be pissed about this, but maybe 30 Seconds to Mars.
That's that's a really true though.
Thanks.
They're definitely like a little overrated. I
Well,
know there's
their
like
fan base is almost like a cult now.
yeah, exactly.
Like, did you
right?
hear about I saw a thing a while ago. It was like Camp Mars or something like that, and like Jared Leto's dressing up as Jesus, and he's like all wearing white robes, and like you pay like $1,000 to come hang out with them for a weekend or something.
That's so weird. Have you guys heard of Cameo? Do you know what that is at all?
Cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like on movies and stuff. or-
Like
No, it's like a
Oh.
social media thing
Okay,
where you
yeah.
will like buy a custom made video from a celebrity, and I'm like, that is such a fucking sleazy way to
Yeah.
take people's money. Like,
yeah.
hey, how's your birthday going, Liam? It's fucking Tom Brady or whatever. Like, there's so many people on there too. I'm like, how are these people just getting money for this? I feel like
Yeah.
that just falls into like the Jared Leto stuff with 30 Seconds to Mars. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
Or like I've heard stories about like at shows he's trying to get the crowd to bow to him and stuff like
that's
that.
so weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like people that charge to do like fan meet and greets.
I was
I'm like,
just
that's
about to
fucking
ask
sleazy,
about that.
dude.
You're lucky you have a fan base. It's like you should.
You should try and
You should
respect them.
praise
You know.
them. You should.
Well, I've heard that like you go in, you wait in line, you say hi, take a photo with them, and then
A lot of them,
you
yeah.
How
Shut
much
the door.
they cost? Like
Oh, they fucking raise the prices on it because it's
Yeah.
like extra work they have to do, you know? And like that's the one thing I gotta say that I don't like about the Aquabats is that they do fan
and
meet and greets and they charge like a decent amount, but it's like, fuck, dude, you should just be doing this stuff for free. Like
Yeah.
these
yeah,
people
that's the thing. Like when you're a small band, like I know a lot of bands like they like to go out after shows and
Yeah.
meet people, but like a band like I went to see Offspring and Sum 41 last weekend. Obviously, they can't do that. Like it just wouldn't work. Yeah.
exactly. Like I can understand why you'd want to charge just because it's like it really
Well, there's no other way to do it, really. but-
yeah.
yeah.
Like they really would get fucking
Flooded.
flooded with people.
Yeah.
A good example of somebody that does do it and doesn't charge is Steve-O. He
Oh, yeah.
he does a lot of comedy stuff now, so he does this like multimedia comedy tour, and he will sit there and fucking take a
everyone.
photo and talk to every single fucking person. And I'm like, that is cool. No charge. He just released a book and he signed every single copy of it.
Oh wow.
I'm
I
like,
saw
that's
that.
fucking
I've watched
incredible.
Some of his YouTube videos.
Yeah, that dude like has really had a change in the last
Yeah.
like 20 years, you know?
hmm
Because like 20 years ago, huge drug addict doing a bunch
Yeah.
of shit. Even 10 years ago,
Yeah,
like
half
really
of his
not.
videos are like every drug I've ever tried, and one
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good to stay away from that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like personally, fucking beer and weed's good enough for me. That's
Yeah.
all I care about.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not down. I think that's a big thing with like EDM music and even like trap music, like we were
Yeah.
saying earlier. A lot of it is like has to do with drugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because like any music festival that's like an EDM festival, half the people are fucking on something,
Yeah.
And like I get it. I definitely like. I'm not hating on people that do drugs. I think that that's fine and dandy, but you got to be safe about it. Is
Yeah.
the main thing. Whereas like with trap music and stuff like that, it's like all of them are pretty much singing about being addicted to like Xanax or
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm like, it's just not good, man. Like change your fucking ways, do something else. Like there's way more that you could write about,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just kind of a trend that people are following personally. But so we just did the bands that are overrated. What bands do you guys think are underrated and people need to start paying attention to them?
Illicit.
Illicit. Hell yeah. There you go.
There's so many great bands like in like the Waterloo scene. Like, yeah, there's a.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, honestly. Like, Southbound's amazing. We saw a band Poor Judgment a while ago. They're amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff.
If I were to kick it up into more mainstream, the stuff that we listen to, what's the band? Turnover.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
Turnover. Neck Deep. Neck Deep's a
Neck
good band.
Deep's incredible.
Love Neck Deep.
Yeah.
And I've talked to everybody, and like nobody knows them, and like you definitely should. They're great sound.
Yeah, I know. It's like fucking start paying attention. I think a lot of people don't actually like try and find new music in their area.
Yeah.
Because like Spotify definitely does a really good job at giving like small to medium sized bands like coverage when it comes to like their playlists and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But for like super small bands like yourself or even Illicit, even Southbound,
Yeah.
like you guys need more credit for the work that you guys do. Like Countless Days, every single time I listen to it, I like it so much more. You know what I
Thanks so
mean?
much.
You
Thank
guys
you.
did an incredible job with it. You can really tell that you guys put effort forth to
Yeah.
really make sure that it sounded the way that you guys wanted. So like definitely huge round of applause for you guys
Thanks
for
so
that.
much.
But yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, I really want to find more people that are underrated and start kind of trying to push it on other
Yeah.
people, So
I discovered a band called Heart Attack Man like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and they're amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been listening to their new album like crazy.
that's awesome. Yeah, the best thing to do is really just look online and start trying to find smaller bands. Like my favorite thing to do is go through and find like a band that I like, and on Spotify they have like bands like this or whatever. And then
Yeah.
you click on that one, you can go down a fucking rabbit hole of just
Oh,
finding
yeah.
like small bands that don't really have much going on.
Yeah.
It's like awesome music the whole time though.
Have you ever heard of Spanish Love Songs?
I have not.
They're a really good band.
Yeah.
Super underrated, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. So we already kind of discussed what genre you guys are, which would be pop punk, correct?
I would say
Alternative or
Alternative.
Pop
pop,
punk.
yeah.
Shitty pop.
Was that was
Yeah,
that
I wanna be.
something? Yeah. Was that something that you guys kind of aimed for right from the beginning? Like when you were first writing or first wanting to get into music, was that something that you guys were like, I want to be in this kind of
Honestly,
band?
It was more something we avoided, kind of.
Yeah, we
'cause
were
people made
always
fun
like-
of it a lot in our
Yeah.
school.
It was like, let's not be Blink 182, but the more you listen to us, like, yeah,
the
we're,
more
we're
we've
Blink
embraced
182.
it.
Yeah.
Like, It's Not Easy was the first one we came up with, and then like the later ones that were written for the EP were like way back when, and Leave It All Behind, and we kind of embraced it more.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, well,
I-
like it's got we're not trying to be anything. We're just doing.
We're
what
trying to be
comes
ourselves now.
more natural.
I
Yeah.
will say, since me and we both co-wrote songs and everything, and since I think we said it in order, our favorite bands were Green Day. They're our biggest influencers.
Yeah.
We definitely sound a lot like Green Day.
Yep.
It's what like our sound. I mean, like, and vocally, I think I'm most. If I were to like say who I'm closest to or who I like, who's my idol, definitely Green Day. Like,
Yeah.
I base my music off them for sure.
No, that's fair. It's definitely good to kind of have something that you want to go towards, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I think that's definitely really cool. So you would agree that probably like, you know, you're more of a pop punk or alternative band
Yeah,
as well?
for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people have told me we sound like Turnover's older stuff too, like your vocals are similar
Yeah.
to his. Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's get deep on the process of writing new music for you guys. So let's
Okay.
go from the beginning to the end of writing a new song. So how would you typically start out?
Should we go separate? You go first, and then I say
Okay.
how I do
Because
it.
I know that you write most of the lyrics. Am I right? Or is it half and half?
It was for our first EP.
Yep.
I would say he wrote 4 songs
Out of
I-
the 6,
2
right?
out of the
Yeah.
6. Yeah. But now, I mean, even now, just before we came over here, we're both showing each other songs that we want to record.
That's a really good way to do things, I think, is to collaborate because you can get both people's opinions on how it will sound. And I think
Yeah.
if you kind of get both of you on it, it'd be really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it always starts with the idea. The
Yep.
idea of the song, the purpose. I always look for a title or what I want to work around. And it starts normally with the chords, and then I follow up with a chorus. And then I write my story inside the verse. For example, Wasting Time that we just listened to. It's about a guy who his girlfriend isn't listening to him, and he can't get his voice out there, and so he thinks he's just wasting time with what he's doing and where he is.
Yeah.
And so the verses are worked around examples of how that's not actually like how it's not working for him, and then he's re-emphasizing it's wasting time in the chorus.
Yep.
But yeah, it definitely starts with the idea, then the guitar, then the story behind it.
That's really cool. I think that's a good way to do it, personally. So how would you say that you write songs?
Okay, well, like, I don't know if this is a good thing, but, like, when I'm writing, like, getting started is the hardest part. Like, I just need, like, one little idea. Like, a while ago, I was listening to the new Blink album, and there's one song called Happy Days on it, and, like, the chorus is kind of just saying, like, happy days over and over again. I kind of thought to myself, like, if I had done that, I would have done it differently and, like, actually put different words, and then, like, I would have done, like...
It's kind of
details
low
aren't
effort,
important.
you know what I mean?
But,
Yeah.
yeah, no, but, like, I'm like, I would have done something like this, and then I thought, like, well, they didn't use it. Why don't I use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I honestly, for me, just getting one little thing and, like, even, like, thinking of a word to start off a chorus or something like that, that's the hardest part for me. But most people, like, would come up with guitar first or something like that, but I usually, like, I have the entire song in my head before I took, like, but that's because, like, I did most of the writing, like, while I was working.
Yeah.
Too. So yeah, I'd come up with like a vocal melody, and then like I know what I want it to sound like in my head, and that I don't know any guitar theory either, so I just screw around on a guitar for a bunch of time, and then I figure it out.
Whatever sounds right.
Yeah.
But you mainly play drums in this band, which is really cool that you can kind of do both, you know? Go back and forth
The
with
funny
it.
thing is, he can play every instrument in the band. He can play bass, guitar.
Except sing.
He can't
Yeah.
sing. He can't sing. That's okay.
One day, maybe.
Yeah.
One day.
Dude, I bet if you actually, like, you know, buckled down and really put a lot of effort towards it and spent, like, you know, a minimum of half an hour a day,
Yeah.
like 4 days a week, you would really start to see improvements.
I will say he's gotten a lot better. Like whenever he shows us songs that he's written, it's like he tries to sing
You just
and
can't.
and he can't. But
It's gotten less
even just
cringeworthy though.
yeah, even just today, it's like, wow, this is actually somewhat bearable. So like,
Yeah, there you go.
so yeah,
Thanks, Liam. How
No
nice of
problem.
you.
I can sort of deal with this.
Yeah.
This is getting better. No, man, I'd suggest that you definitely take some time and really focus on that, because if everything else is coming to you really easily, then you need some sort of a challenge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think vocals is the next thing, because if you could at least do like backup vocals, like you guys know Fatty from
Yeah.
Alyssa,
Yeah.
he does vocals sort of. He does like a couple of vocals on different songs,
Mhm.
whereas Jordan does most of them.
Yeah.
Like that's something I always really appreciate is a drummer that can drum and do vocals at the same time.
Mhm.
Takes a lot
Yeah.
skill.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Seb from Death from Above, he's insane. Like the
Yeah.
dude is absolutely next level on drums and can also sing. And I'm like, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So
There's actually one song on the EP, Dead and Gone. My backup vocals are in there, just turned down very low.
yeah,
He's
that's
there.
fair.
There's one part, like, there's the whoas in the chorus, and then also there's, like, gang vocals or whatever.
Yeah,
we
it's
would
like a
call it.
crowd of vocals at the end where we're trying to build it up to hype again.
We had to
Right.
do, like, how much was it?
It's like we
10 or 15 recordings of
yeah.
a bunch of people
if
singing.
you know like Queen when they did their one song
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian
Yep.
Rhapsody in one part and like when they're doing the octaves and stuff, they do like 30 takes of 30 different like pitches.
Yep.
That's what we kind of did.
Yeah, that's a really good way to do it though, because you get to hear it from like every sound, and it sounds like multiple people are doing it.
Yeah,
you
and we
know?
also had to stand in like different corners of the room. We stood in like
Yep.
in
So it
front.
sounds more
just to
Yeah.
get like different angles. You
Yeah.
know? So
Well, like, I have a pretty low voice, so originally it sounded, like, super monotone and low, so then Liam, like, backed up from the mic and sang, like, super high.
Yeah.
Just to make it sound more
to
natural.
equal it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. So you were saying that you kind of like write the lyrics and then kind of figure out the guitar stuff. Do you do the drumming afterwards to kind of make a beat with it, or would you say that the drumming is kind of the first thing to kind of get the way that you want the song to be, you know, like through
Yeah, I know what you mean.
speed-wise, I
Yeah.
guess.
I have it all imagined in my head before I even, like, I basically know exactly what I want the song to sound like when, like, things change, obviously,
Yeah.
and, like, other band members bring new things to the table, but I kind of imagine it in my head what I want it to sound like, and then I figure it out on the kit after.
That's awesome. That's really cool. It's a really good skill to have, is to know exactly the way that it should be before you even get into it. I find that I'm the same way when it comes to like filming or, you know, animating stuff. It's just kind of the way that I am, is that I picture it in my head. I think it might just be from like riding BMX and skating, just because you kind of figure out the way that you want to do a certain trick, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to like picture it in your head before you even really do it, just so that you can kind of figure out the way that it would work. It's kind of the same thing with most stuff, but anybody that doesn't really have that kind of background within music or, you know, BMX or skateboarding, they really don't get it, you know?
Yeah.
At least that's my thought on this.
No,
So,
and you're probably right too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that like within a creative culture like
Yeah.
what we both have, I think that's why you would kind of see that more.
A lot of the
Um,
times it, like, goes through different renditions of the song, too. Like, I'll have an original idea, and then I'll be like, oh, well, it'd be kind of cool if we slowed it down or something like that, or, yeah.
Yeah. So the next question here I have is, what are the hardest things about being in a band?
Wow. Honestly, it's probably just like group consensus and like trying to agree on one thing. Like, yeah, it'll always come down to like a vote or who thinks it's right and who thinks it isn't right.
Right.
We can definitely see that in writing songs. Everyone has a different idea and they want to implement it in the song and make it theirs.
Of course.
But
Like, making time for everything, too.
yeah,
Like,
that too.
I
Yeah.
live like 2 hours away now because I'm in college, but and like, so I practice as much as I can on weekends, but like there's not really much I actually have a funny story too. I bought an electric drum kit a couple
Yep.
weeks ago because I wanted to have it in residence. I set it up, I was all hyped up, and then literally in 5 minutes the hall monitor knocks on my door and she's like, yeah, you can't have that in here.
That's so crazy. That's
Yeah.
like, it's so quiet too.
Yeah.
So you probably can't even play real drums unless you actually go somewhere to do it.
Yeah, I come home every weekend, so
Oh,
I practice
man.
as much as I can, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough though, because it's like all week you're fucking sitting there doing that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that sucks, man. Maybe next year, because if you're in college now,
If I
then
have
the
a
next
house
year,
next year, I can,
try and
yeah.
find somewhere where you've got roommates that are cool enough to let you do that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that would be incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Side note here, you should check out Scatoon Network on YouTube. He's a dude that does covers of songs and makes them like ska or ska punk
Okay.
songs.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But he does all of it himself. So he does like in ska, there's like horn stuff. So
Yeah.
he does trombone, trumpet, saxophone.
Mhm.
He plays guitar, and then he'll like make a drum beat for it.
That's sweet.
It's all one guy. I'm like, I bet that would be really cool for you since
Yeah.
you've like kind of mastered instruments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know. I think I'm equally shitty at all instruments.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think next year definitely try and find something
Yeah.
where you can actually like, do that, because personally, like if I had to wait to be able to kind of come up with an idea and animate something, it'd be so hard, man. Because like I'm able to come home and just hang out in my office and do that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So it sucks that you can't do that.
Yeah.
Definitely try and find somewhere where you're going to be allowed to at least play your electric drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use those to record like the sound and everything for your?
I actually
Stuff?
bought it specifically for Resonance. I just
Oh,
bought
that's
it like
fucking
2 weeks
lame.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really lame.
Yeah.
I
I
really do.
For all our recordings, I use my Pearl kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And for yourself?
Well, for the what was the question again?
The hardest things about being in a band.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely making time. I mean, like we all got different lives that we got to be in, living, and I mean, I always try and prioritize the band practices. I mean, we can only do it like once a week now, just because Mitchell's 2 hours away,
Yeah.
and 2-hour drive.
Everything else,
It
yeah.
sucks, man, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
So, we definitely strive to do the 1 week practice. But other than that time, it just probably is the group agreements. Like if
Yeah.
the group can agree with something, that's fantastic, and it's like that's half of the part of being in a band.
We've spent like months settling on a song title
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's difficult, man. When you start getting more and more people into it, personally for myself, with everything that I've created, I do like 90% of the work. The only stuff that like my other people will do is like, doing the writing in the like videos, or maybe do a voice that I come up with for the lyrics, or not the lyrics, but like the words and whatnot, or the script.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier for that. But like having it, if you're in a 4-piece band, 25, 25, 25, 25%,
Yeah.
it's so difficult, especially because you've got 4 people instead of, 1 or 2. Like,
Yeah.
You've got an idea that you think would be good. He's got an idea that he wants to do, and so on,
Yeah.
So,
Well, we know bands like No Service that are like a 6-piece too, right?
that's
So I
wild,
can't
man.
imagine.
dude, when you start getting into like ska music, it's like the average band is a 6-piece, and
Yeah.
if you have a 5-piece band, that's pushing it.
Don't
You're like, what the hell?
Aquabats have like 7 or 8 members or something like
So
that?
they do 5 main members
Uh-huh.
with
But
8
then, like,
total
touring
tour
members, yeah.
members. I'm
Okay.
like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's so nuts.
So they have like multiple like
it
horn
depends.
players.
Yeah, so like typically in a ska band, you'll have a guitar player, a vocalist. Most of the time, those two just do like the
Yeah.
same thing, because that's like a normal thing. I think is that a lot of people that do play guitar will also do vocals,
Yeah.
and then you've got like bass player, and then drums, and then you've got your saxophone or your trombone or your trumpet. Like it really depends. Some ska bands use keyboards. I think it really is
Yeah.
case by case.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know how Sublime does it because they're a 3-piece.
I think that a lot of their stuff is it's
Backing
done
tracks.
through like backing tracks and whatnot. And what's really sad is Sublime
their
actually
lead singer died.
Yeah, their
after,
lead
like,
singer died like a while ago.
Didn't like their first album came out and he died
Yep,
like a month
he-
later or something.
Yeah, he
That's a
passed
bummer,
away
man.
almost a month afterwards, and I think he'd be very proud to see that his music is still relevant to today,
Yeah.
to today. And then they have now they have Sublime with Rome, if you
Yeah.
know who that is.
I actually
So-
saw them at Rock the Park. a
Yeah,
couple
they're
years ago.
incredible. Really, really good. It's so
he
crazy.
sounds
that
like
the guy-
identical too.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
Crazy.
But yeah, those guys are incredible. Sublime's such a huge band, so it's
Yeah.
really cool that they got that credit. I think that dude would be very happy with the
Yeah,
way that
for
things
sure.
went.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've talked about the hardest things about being in a band. What are the best things about being in a band?
When you can agree on something without fighting and without without sitting down and having a voting, that's probably the most like it's probably the best feeling in the world, honestly. Like
Yeah, when you guys all have the same idea. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
this is very obvious, but playing in front of people and like performing as a piece,
Yeah.
that's just it's the adrenaline rush is unreal. Like I love it every time.
Okay, for me, like, when I was in grade 12, like I took a business class and like your like final assignment or whatever was like to organize an event or something like that to raise money, and we put on a show in the cafeteria, and that was a lot of fun. And like that's like a show where more people are gonna know you than anywhere. And I remember we closed with "It's Not Easy," and like there's a quiet part in it, and we like the audience sang it, and that was just such an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
hearing people actually sing your lyrics back to you.
Well, it really shows that these people pay attention. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like myself personally, I definitely get the feeling sometime where like, you know, people don't care about what I do or anything like that. Where you just kind of get depressed about it. But when you really break it down and you start to look at the different experiences you've had, you can tell that people do give a fuck and that people want to be involved, you know? So it's definitely great for that. Any other things that you would say was a positive note of being in a band?
Just
Recording's a lot of fun too, like
recording's
because
amazing.
like after you record a song, like it takes it to a whole new level kind of, and it's always such an amazing feeling hearing like the recorded
The finished
like
product is
like
just,
what after it's been mixed and everything.
Yeah, my favorite is like when I was doing animation stuff, I can so relate to that because for my video Space Goats, when I would finish like a 30-second animation thing and it'd be exactly how I thought of it, I would just die laughing so hard because I'm like, this is fucking incredible. This is literally like exactly how I wanted it. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely could say that that's probably a good thing as well for you guys, is just being able to, you know, hear a finished product and you know what exactly went into it.
Yeah, when we got the mix back for our first song, "It's Not Easy," that was a big moment because that was like the first time, like that's the first song we ever recorded. So that was
half-hour drive to the studio to the house. Listen to it on repeat.
That's awesome. That's like super cool though.
Yeah.
Who do you guys actually like get to produce or mix your songs?
It's a guy in Mitchell, Dustin Skysmith. Yeah,
That's awesome. He's very talented then, eh?
yeah, he's
yeah.
a really good guy.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just very curious, what is the pricing like on that? Is this kind of a, you know, a friend deal, or how does this stuff go?
It's his side hobby. He does like he does
He's
weddings.
a wedding
He's
DJ
a wedding DJ.
too.
That's his main gig. He teaches guitar. He teaches lessons and all that. So this is just sort of his like side job, his hobby. And last year it was $25 an hour.
Yeah.
This year bumped it up just for because he's paying for residence there now.
Right.
So I think it's what 30.
30 an hour.
Yeah, 30.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
it's amazing for what we get.
Yeah, that's really cool though. It's really cool to see people like, you know, your age actually putting money and effort towards something like this, because it'll really show, you know, like keep at it, because you guys will really actually start to make like bigger footprints that people will start to see, you know?
Yeah.
So I saw that you guys are recording, or you guys were recording.
Yes.
What's up? You guys got an album coming out or what?
It's very early. We have one song recorded right now, and then
Have you guys been playing this song live?
we played it for the first time last night.
Yesterday.
Actually,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it was a
really
lot of
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go? Sorry.
Oh
It
yeah,
went
no,
well,
it went
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do we want to say we dropped this as a single or
Possibly.
possibly?
Possibly.
There we
You'll
go.
have to wait and see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep updated.
That'd be really cool. Well, I guess if you guys really want to hear it, probably just come out and support these guys.
Yeah.
You know, come out to the show and hear the song, because you guys will be playing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool though. So you guys are probably getting ready to record an album.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah, we're going back in the studio January.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. Any ideas that you guys have for this next record? Like, do you guys have a time frame of when you want it done by?
Honestly, I don't think we have
Very
a time.
early stages right now.
Yeah.
Take your
Like-
time. I'm telling you right now,
we
man.
were
don't
really
put-
rushing things on the first.
We
EP.
did. We had a due date for the last one that we wanted to get done by,
Yeah.
so it's very rushed.
But I'm happy with how
It,
it
yeah,
turned out.
it turned out amazing.
If
but,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
if I can make any like advice to you guys, make a time frame in your own head. Don't post it publicly.
Yeah.
Keep it to
Yeah.
yourselves.
That was our
Really
That
get
was our
it.
mistake last
Really make sure that like, you know, you guys are happy with it, because myself, I've always made a time frame for myself, and even a couple times I've posted it like publicly on when it was going to
Yeah.
be done by, and that was a mistake. I should have
Yeah.
like just kept it to myself. Because a lot of times I take, like, with these huge video projects, I take an extra 6 months. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I want to make sure this is done right. Like,
Yeah.
definitely make sure that you guys keep it, like, on the down low, but when it's going to come out, keep it, like, you know, because that gives you a little bit more freedom to really make sure that things are perfect to you. You
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas for songs right now, but they're in like early
Yeah,
stages.
we've only got our foot in the door right now.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
that's awesome. Do you guys still get stage fright or anything? And how do you deal with it if you do have it?
Right. So I have a tendency of getting sick hours before my show, and it's not because I'm scared or anything. It's just like it's a mentality, and then I get a sore throat, and like I physically get sick. And I still got like yesterday, for example, I got a little like a sore throat, and like I was starting to cough more. But and so I'll get stage fright from that. I'm like, oh no, am I going to voice crack, or like am I going to squeal like a little pig? Yeah, and but that's the only kind of or if I'm playing a big show. I remember this show at the school when we played in front of like 350 people around there for NTS. That was definitely, because before that was only 50 people. It's like you're taking a big step there. So I was definitely scared for that.
It's also difficult because they're all people that you know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
want to impress them and you want to do a good job. I mean, I bet you half of the people wouldn't care if you fucked up or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's always that, like, one person where you're like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying our best here.
Well, the thing is, like, I've noticed that, like, when I watch a live band, I never notice the mistakes. Like, last week, I got a video of The Offspring, and, like, I thought they sounded really good live, and then looking back, I'm like, he totally just voice cracked there, and, like,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Live shows are so much more difficult, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I like to look at this is like a really weird explanation of this, and if you guys don't understand it, that's okay. But I like to look at live music the same way that I would look at a contest run for a BMX or skateboarder. The best way to look at it is that, like, there's going to be mistakes. They're not going to land things perfectly, or they're not going to be able to get exactly what they wanted. Whereas a long video project like I do, you're able to kind of really sit down and focus on that and appreciate the way that it should be done. You know, you
Yeah, I
can
get
take
that.
multiple attempts and get it perfect.
Right.
Whereas in the contest, you can't do that. You need to get it perfect first try.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it personally.
Yeah.
So
No, I for sure agree for that. Like,
yeah, but definitely, you guys. I'm super excited to see you guys play again. I wish I could have showed up last night. I fucking was so busy.
stuff
don't worry
happens.
about
Yeah,
it.
no
Yeah.
worries.
I'll definitely try and come out to your next show around here. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, we'll give you a hoot.
Oh, of course. So here's a good one for you guys, since you guys are kind of the main writers for the band. How do you guys battle writer's block? I get this all the time where
Yeah.
I come up with an idea and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this. Or maybe I'm so sick of it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you guys deal with that?
You want to take this one first?
Okay, I find, like, whenever I write a song that, like, I'm really proud of, I, like, get in my head and I think, like, well, how am I going to top that last one? But
That's a good one, man, because
like, when I wrote It's Not Easy, like, I had never written a song before that was even, like, worth showing people, and that was huge for me. And then
yeah.
I think I couldn't come up with anything else for months after that. And then, like, again, it just takes, like, one little idea or getting inspired by something for me, and then it usually breaks. But I find if you, like, stay on top of it and keep trying it, like, you can avoid it happening. Because when I wrote, like, when we had gotten to the point where we had, like, 6 songs for our EP, I thought, like, I felt like I had a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, I was like, yeah, we actually have enough songs for a project. And
Yeah.
then I stopped, and then again, the same thing happened, and, like, I have to stay on top of it, or I get out of practice, kind of.
That's a good thing to do, though, is really focus on how you're going to do stuff, you know? So, I always find personally it's the same thing when it comes to, like, editing or anything like that. I'll work on it for hours and hours and hours, and then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck this, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm just going to take my time and deal with other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think staying on top of it is probably the best idea.
Yeah.
Just because then you can really focus on it. I know that some days it's definitely harder than others, but
Yeah, for
what
sure.
do you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for yourself, how do you deal with writer's block?
So definitely, like, I'll get the idea, and like the idea is different from actually writing stuff down. Like, you can get an idea for anything. But writing the actual song's a lot harder than it, like, looks.
Oh,
And-
of course.
Yeah. So like I'll start and I'll be like whizzing through. I'm like, man, this is going, and then like I'll get to at some point. I'm like, man, I'm kind of out of words that I can use here. Like I'm out of ideas. And so that's definitely an issue. Like I have lots of half written songs.
Right.
Yeah, a lot. And so writer's block is definitely an issue for that. And definitely it's just like you'll come to a point where you're like, man, am I just repeating myself? Like I don't want to, like, we have times where we're like, this sounds exactly like something we've done before. It's like, and so we'll have to go back and we'll try and change it. And it's like, what else are we going to do now? Like,
Well, a lot of our songs, like on our last EP, like I was really trying to write things that weren't breakup songs, but they all sound like that anyway.
they're all
so,
breakup songs. So.
Yeah.
Like only, like I think It's Not Easy is the only song I wrote where like it was actually supposed to be a breakup song, but like the rest of them, like they're all about different things in my head, but they still sound
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That might just be the sound that you guys have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? A
Yeah.
lot of the times when it comes to a band's sound, it's not even something they try and have.
It's unintentional. So.
Yeah, it's just the way that it ends up going. You guys definitely do it really well, though, so that's
Thank
a
you.
plus.
Thank you.
As for the half-written songs, keep them, man. Make sure that you still have
Oh,
those
yeah, I
in your
do.
head or written down or somewhere, because you know, at one of these days, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next day, it might be 3 years from now.
Yeah.
But you'll fucking have a light bulb go off in your head, and you're like, that'd be perfect, and it'll
Yeah.
be great. So just keep that in your head, because you never know, man. It could really do big things for you guys if
It
you
could.
kind of make sure you hang on to everything like that.
Yeah. Funny story, actually. Like our song that we were recording a couple weeks ago, the opening line from that song is actually like from something we wrote like a year and a half ago or something like that, and it was trash. Like I find like writing works best like if someone like has an idea and like a verse or a chorus, and then everyone can like put their input in and like make slight changes. But if you try to just come up with something from scratch and force it, it's tougher to come up with stuff, and that's what happened really. But there was one opening lyric that was like we thought was good, and we used it in the new song, and then that was like the one little thing I needed to get me started in it.
Yeah.
For sure. Would
Spark
you
the
guys
whole new
mind
song.
sharing the opening lyric?
Take a look at the man that I've become.
That's a really powerful first lyric, man.
Yeah.
Especially coming like right into a song. I'm really excited to hear that. So.
Yeah. We way back when we no pun intended there. We first tried it. We definitely thought it was a lot like cheesier than it like when we had it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
it was a really slow song too, and also like a lot of the time, like the way you sing a lyric can kind of make it sound more or less cheesy. Because like if
Oh,
you're
it can make
make or
and break
break.
it. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
if you're reading your lyrics to someone and like you're not singing them, it sounds kind of awkward no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I completely agree with that. That's really cool. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have, ready for next year. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Or whenever. So I guess we'll kind of, end it off with this one. What can everybody look forward to next year? You guys got shows, new music? What's going on?
Our next show is in January at Harmony Lunch.
Yep.
What's the date again?
I think you said the 17th, right?
It's
Or-
a Saturday.
It's a
Around
Saturday.
that
It's one
time.
of the Saturdays there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. A Saturday would probably be the best day to do it because more people
Yeah.
are able to kind of come out
Yeah.
and really enjoy it,
Yeah,
Keep
usually
posted, yeah.
they're on Thursdays, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
hmm
And then after that,
New music eventually.
new music.
Take your time with it.
Yeah.
Really make it, perfect.
Yeah, and then shows if we get them.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Definitely keep killing it, guys. You guys have been doing unreal with the stuff you guys are making.
Well,
thank
thank
you.
I love it. I really think that you guys deserve more credit. So I hope that anybody that's checking this out for the first time, go and check out Countless Days by Fairway Drive. the whole album's insane. I love it. I think that, like, from the beginning song where it's really fast and then it kind of slows down and kind of, builds back up again is really cool. That's just how I feel about it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. It means a lot to us.
Oh, of course, man. But yeah, check them out. Countless Days by Fairway Drive. Next up, we've got Leave It All Behind and Time and Distance to end this off. Guys, I want to really thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having us.
I wish you guys the best of luck. And in the future, I'll definitely stop by and see you guys play again. I'm really excited for it.
Can't wait to see you there.
Of course. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one. This is Leave It All Behind by Fairway Drive.
Decent.
I know it's hard for you, but I'm trying to understand what you're going through. I know this wasn't planned, but in your final days, it kills to see you fade away. I just don't know what to do. As time passes by, I've seen you laugh, I've seen you cry. So just don't let go. When we are so close to something, believe and you will find what it takes to stay alive. So just don't let go. I know we'll be alright. I know it's killing you, but I'm doing all I can to help you make it through. This can't be how it ends, but here in your final days, it kills to see you fade away. I just don't know what to do. As time passes by, I've seen you laugh, I've seen you cry. So just don't let go. When we are so close to something, believe and you will find what it takes to stay alive. So just don't let go. I know we'll be alright. I know that we can get through this, so don't leave it all behind. I know that you'll come back from this, so don't throw it all away. As time passes by, I've seen you laugh, I've seen you cry. So just don't let go. When we are so close to something, believe and you will find what it takes to stay alive. So just don't let go. And I know we'll be alright. As time passes by, I've seen you laugh, I've seen you cry. So just don't let go. I know we'll be alright. Miles and miles between us, but still you're on my mind. I don't know why I cannot seem to leave you behind. I try to mend the distance, and it just seems so far. I don't know why this has to be so goddamn hard. Time and distance erases our existence. I wish that I could find my way to you. Time and distance erases our between us, and now we're too far gone. I hate to admit it, but I knew it all along. I tried to mend the distance, it's like there's nothing left. I'm tired